Channel 11 News starts with severe weather Team 11 coverage.
A fast and heavy downpour causing flash flooding. This Channel 11 viewer photo shows high water on Ellsworth Avenue in Shadyside. 3 cars there were flooded. That rain came down so fast the sewer drains could not handle all the water. And that was right outside of Winchester Thurston School. The water went down as fast as it rose this morning. The school did have flooding in the basement.
And a viewer shared this video from Squirrel Hill, and you really shouldn't be doing this. Shouldn't be driving in the high water, especially this high. There wasn't enough high water to bring the floodgates down on Washington Boulevard, though. But drivers were moved into one lane along parts of the road, and city workers are just keeping a close watch to see if they'll need to activate the gates later on today.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Gordon Lesh.
And I'm Melissa Raymond. Let's get right to meteorologist Danielle Dozier in Severe Weather Center 11. Hey, Danielle.
Yeah, it certainly has been a soggy day, morning for that matter, and we're continuing to track some showers out there right now. We do have just some pretty low clouds. It's 69 degrees with a 6-mile-per-hour wind. Our visibility is reduced to 7 miles here, 8 miles in Indiana, and everywhere where you're seeing this gray shaded color, that's where we have reduced visibility. If you are hitting the road, that rain is clearing out of Allegheny County right now, but we still have some heavier downpours that are moving through Westmoreland County, right around the Greensburg area. Everywhere we are seeing this red shaded color, that's where we have some of those locally heavier downpours. So if you're on the Turnpike in Westmoreland County, heading toward the south, you're going to run into that heavier downpour there. I haven't seen any lightning here this afternoon, but that could change. We still have that in the forecast. Coming up, I'm going to let you know how long I expect this rain to continue today. Plus, I have an outlook with more heat in the forecast for Tuesday and how warm it gets. Still to come.
Check this out now. A car stranded in high water in Shaler Township. The woman behind the wheel had to be rescued when she realized she wasn't going to make it to higher ground on Stevie Road. Another driver had to be rescued after getting trapped on a road in Ross Township. Neighbors are used to seeing Union Avenue flood over at the bottom of the road where you drive from Ross to Bellevue. And rescuers had a really unique way to rescue a woman trapped in her car there.
One of the township guys brought a front loader down, and we were able to get a guy into the bucket and get her out that way.
The water has receded. At last check, the road was still closed as crews are out there clearing debris still. Rochester Road is also shut down in Ross Township. This may not look like much, but it's enough water to cause problems for drivers. Rochester is closed between 6th Avenue, right by Frank's Pizza, on up to the lower entrance of North Hills High School. If you do want to share pictures of flooding in your neighborhood, you can always post it online with the hashtag WPXI-Storm.
Police in Westmoreland County say a man was high on drugs when he thought he heard people in his house, so he called 911. And when police went up to the home in Mount Pleasant, they tell us the man fired a shot. They're not sure if it was intentional. No one was hurt, and a short time later, that man was taken into custody. Flames took over a church in Beaver County. A witness shared this video with us, and you could see just how intense this fire was. And there was no saving that church. Channel 11's Mike Holden got a closer look at the damage to Mount Pleasant Presbyterian Church in Darlington.
Flames absolutely ripped through this Beaver County church. Fire officials tell us it's a total loss, and community members we just spoke with say they're not sure where to turn next, but they're so grateful no one was hurt or killed. Channel 11 was right there as fire crews went to work and swarmed the Mount Pleasant Presbyterian Church, spraying it down for hours. They were called to the community staple around 5:30 this morning after neighbors reported hearing that of an explosion. This viewer video shows how intense the flames were. Fire could be seen shooting out of every side of the church and glowing in the early morning sky. The Darlington fire chief says it was a challenging fight. They have no fire hydrants out here, and it took manpower from a number of neighboring companies to get it under control. At this point, fire officials are working to determine how this all started, and the lay pastor says this is a tremendous hit.
It was a shock to see, but we're a small congregation, but the people have a strong spirit, and we desire to rebuild and whatever we got to do to keep the congregation together. It's an important part of the community.
And the fire marshal is on scene investigating, working to determine exactly what sparked this fire. In the meantime, I'm now talking with neighbors and community members about personal memories here and how they plan to rebuild for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting in Darlington, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
A police officer was hit by a car when police say the driver took off after being pulled over. Investigators say they were trying to stop the car in Homewood because it matched the description of a car seen leaving Race Street after shots were fired. The officer was not seriously hurt. We asked police if the car we saw being towed on the north side is connected to the shooting in Homewood, and they told us this is all part of the investigation. And police are looking for a shooter in connection to a murder in Wilkinsburg. A man was shot and killed around 10:30 last night. We watched as police canvassed Van Tyne Street. The victim's name has not been released. Allegheny County Police are investigating.
We expect to learn new information today on the discovery of a body in Cranberry. This photo shows a car up in flames, but it wasn't until after that fire was out that firefighters found the victim inside. It happened in a parking lot off Route 228 Friday night. There are a number of restaurants in this area, and that explosion was felt several blocks away. There's a search underway in Armstrong County for a man who disappeared during a camping trip. Nathan Lauer's friend told state police that he saw Lauer go for a swim in the Allegheny River Saturday morning and that he never came back to the campsite. Divers searched the river for the Punxsutawney man yesterday, and a canine was called in to try to pick up the man's scent, but at last check, no clues have been found.
The parents of a man who fell to his death on West Carson Street are seeking an emergency injunction. They want to stop the city from replacing the railing he fell through. Brandon Baburka died a week ago after falling to a parking lot below the lower station of the Duquesne Incline. A lawyer for his parents filed a motion to stop contractors from fixing that railing, claiming the repairs are destroying the integrity of critical evidence.
This entire scene tells a story. It tells the story of how this young man tragically lost his life. This scene doesn't look exactly how it looked the night he fell, and it should, because the family hasn't heard exactly what happened.
The lawyer there says the next step is to get experts to take a close look at the railing to determine exactly what happened. Spokespeople for the Port Authority and the city of Pittsburgh said they could not comment on pending litigation.
As cases surge in other parts of the world, new case numbers show that COVID-19 in the U.S., those cases are the lowest they've been in the past 11 months, and vaccine rates have reached at least 50% in half of the U.S. Our Jacqueline Fell has the latest on the path to recovery.
About 49% of the country has received at least one shot of a vaccine, with roughly 39% fully vaccinated, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. As cases, hospitalizations, and deaths steadily dropped this week, signs of pre-pandemic life are showing up. Americans have dropped the masks, gone out to eat, and are planning to travel. Retailers are also ending pandemic-related restrictions. However, health experts caution that not enough Americans have been vaccinated to completely extinguish the virus, leaving the potential for new variants that could extend the pandemic.
Keep moving forward with vaccinations. Do not let your guard down, but be encouraged and cautiously optimistic.
Even if you're fully vaccinated, more shots could be in your future. Vaccine makers are studying whether we should be prepared to get booster shots to further protect against the virus. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
Pennsylvania ranks in the top 10 of states with the number of people fully vaccinated. We spoke with Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman about the progress.
Not a political, it's not a left issue, it's not a right issue, it's not a red issue, not a blue issue. It's a let's get this virus taken care of, done with.
When asked about the potential for a rise in cases after Memorial Day, Fetterman said the state will plan accordingly.
And this weekend is the unofficial kickoff to summer, and it seems vaccinations equal vacations after a year in quarantine. NBC's Dan Sheneman has the story.
As the country wakes up from a year-long hibernation, the demand for travel is climbing.
There is a lot of pent-up demand, so travelers should expect the roads to be busier than ever, the airports to be busier than ever.
The average week-long vacation for a family of four is ringing up at $4,500. AAA predicts 37 million people will kick off the summer travel season over Memorial Day weekend.
That's a lot more than traveled last year, but it's still lower than in pre-pandemic years.
This is not the year to wait for those last-minute deals. This is the year where you want to plan and you want to book now, as far in advance as possible. Not only because there's high demand and rising prices with airfares and hotels and rental cars,
The points guy, Brian Kelly, says rental cars are no longer an afterthought for travel.
Car rental apocalypse, as we're calling it, shows no signs of abating, especially as we get into summer travel. Now, they can be more than the cost of your flight per day rental.
Adventure seekers and nature lovers need to read the fine print.
Because so many places are still requiring reservations, from theme parks to campgrounds. So you want to make sure that you are able to do what you want to do when you arrive in your destination, and reservations are going to be key for that.
Whether you hike the mountains, lay on the beach, or visit Grandma's house, experts ask you to remember we're still in a pandemic, so don't abandon all common sense. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Meantime, new information is raising questions about the origin of COVID. A U.S. intelligence report claims the virus appeared a month before China said it did. This new report was published in the Wall Street Journal. It says several researchers at China's Wuhan Institute fell ill in November of 2019. But the report did not confirm the illness was COVID. China told the World Health Organization the first COVID case was recorded in December.
A former state Supreme Court Chief Justice is being remembered for his years of public service. Stephen Zappala Sr. passed away Friday at the age of 88. He had several positions in Allegheny County before being elected to the state Supreme Court in 1981. Allegheny County District Attorney Stephen Zappala Jr. issued a statement saying many of his opinions from the bench still guide the work of lawyers and courts to this day.
Gateway teachers are in the classroom today. Their union reached a deal with the district over the weekend to avoid a strike. The 4-year deal includes yearly raises for union members, but they will also have to increase their health care contributions. More than 200 teachers, nurses, and counselors had been working since June without a contract. Both sides told Channel 11 the pandemic complicated their negotiations.
There were several months lost there where we literally we had nothing to come to the table with, because we didn't know what we could bring.
Union leaders plan to release more specifics about the deal after it's ratified by members and approved by the school board.
The Penguins are hoping a hometown crowd can help get them back in the lead tonight. The Pens will also need more help from the top line of Sidney Crosby, Jake Gensel, and Brian Rust. The three have combined for just 3 of the Penguins' 27 points in this series. The Pens and Islanders are tied at 2 apiece in their best-of-7 series, and the Bruins are waiting. Boston beat Washington Saturday 3-1 to win their first-round series.
I'm tracking more showers and storms for this afternoon. I'll have the latest hourly timing on that. Plus, the heat is building. I'm going to let you know just how hot it's going to get on Tuesday.
The race to vaccinate is well underway, but not everybody's on board. The big issue is stopping people from getting their shots.
New concerns about ditching your mask, and this is coming from nurses. Why frontline workers are calling it the wrong move.
People working on the front lines to battle coronavirus are taking issue with new guidelines on masks. Some healthcare workers tell us it's the wrong move. Our senior Washington correspondent Blair Miller spoke with nurses and heard from the CDC about this.
Ever since people started celebrating the CDC's move to tell people they can ditch masks if fully vaccinated, it's created concerns for healthcare workers like Koki Giles.
This is not following the science.
She and other nurses say we're not there yet and that now isn't the time to pull back on masks or social distancing.
And I think that we need to have higher vaccination numbers than what we do right now.
They worry we're about to see a rise in cases and more hospitalizations. On top of that, they say that people have to rely on the honor system in order to know if people truly have been vaccinated.
But you can't look at somebody and say, you're vaccinated and you're not, so you need to wear a mask. And we already know that the honor system for wearing masks during this entire pandemic has been a failure.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has spent the last week defending the decision to ease mask-wearing guidance, stressing that increasing political pressure had nothing to do with the abrupt shift, but instead was based on science. They also remind people these are just guidelines.
The decisions about whether to take off a mask mandate have to be made at the local level, have to be made at the community level.
The CDC is expected to offer more guidance on masks for kids as well. It's not clear when that will happen, though.
Hospitals in Japan's second largest city of Osaka are buckling under a huge wave of new COVID infections, running out of beds and ventilators as exhausted doctors advise against holding the Olympics in just 2 months. Only about half of Japan's medical staff are fully vaccinated. A team of Australian skateboarders was disqualified from an Olympic qualifying event here in the United States after 3 positive COVID-19 tests in their group. 2 Olympic hopefuls and a coach tested positive after arriving in the United States, and others in the group were ruled out of the qualifier because they were deemed close contacts of the coach. Officials in Australia say they did not have time to give the skateboarders 2 Pfizer shots before they left the country. They just started vaccinating athletes 2 weeks ago.
It's something which we know going into Tokyo we're going to be very well prepared for. I think it's a different scenario going into Tokyo. We will have a lot of testing done here in Australia. The Australian committee is putting in a 14-day test prior to departure.
He went on to say the games will go on and they just have to accept that not every Olympic hopeful will make it to Tokyo to compete.
Allegheny County's return board continues its work to finalize last week's primary election. The board is reviewing about 1,500 provisional ballots. They'll review them by hand and recommend if they should be counted or not. Their work continued at 9 this morning.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
There's a deluge of rain out there this morning. Here's a look at some of our rainfall reports. Pittsburgh picking up almost 1.5 inches with 1.43 inches. Millvale 1.38 inches. Harmony a little more than 1 inch. Forest Hills 1 inch. Lower Burrell almost 1 inch as well at 0.7. Here's a live look at our storm tracker Doppler 11 radar. The heaviest rain has moved out of the Pittsburgh area. We do have some pockets of moderate to heavy rainfall, though, that are falling here through Westmoreland County. Some light showers in southern Armstrong as well as Indiana counties right now. I wanted to zoom in here. If you're heading out between Greensburg and Mount Pleasant, you are going to be running into some moderate to heavy downpours there on the turnpike. These are pushing to the south. I haven't seen any lightning, but that's also a possibility today. And if you have any pictures you want to snap and share, you can always send me them on Facebook, Twitter. I'll try to get them on the air using the hashtag WPXI Storm. That's the best way to upload them safely, of course. Temperatures are in the upper 60s right now in the city, 71 in Beaver, it's 74 in Washington. So warmer to the south and west, rain-cooled air where we've seen the rain. Today's temperatures in the mid-70s this afternoon. Outside of any storms, we're looking at a west wind at 3 to 6 miles per hour. I am expecting a fairly cloudy day for us, and it's going to be humid as well. We've been talking about that over the weekend, and we will include more showers and storms in the picture later this afternoon. So our weather impacts for today: lightning, that's a threat in any storm, heavy downpours, and localized flooding, which is what we were dealing with this morning. Tonight we're looking at 64 degrees, mostly cloudy. The showers and storms will wrap up here this evening. We're looking at light southerly winds overnight tonight. So dry overnight tonight into our Tuesday morning. I'll show you here on Storm Tracker what we're looking at going forward. 2 o'clock this afternoon, again, another round of showers is possible. Some embedded thunderstorms. We're keeping that risk in the forecast for the late afternoon and early evening hours, and then those clear out. Overnight tonight, we're dry and mostly cloudy in the morning on Tuesday, and then we're going to get some breaks in the clouds for some sunshine throughout the afternoon. I do expect that we will have a chance for a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. I don't think the coverage is going to be as widespread as what we were forecasting for today, but nonetheless, we could have a pop-up shower or thunderstorm throughout the day Tuesday, despite the models not really showing a whole lot. That's been in the forecast here over the last couple of days, showing that there could be a spot of rain or thunder. Take a look here at the 5-day forecast, and we've got the heat building for Tuesday. We're up to 87 degrees with that chance, that is, of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. 84 Wednesday with scattered storms, and coming up in the next half hour, I'm going to let you know what I think our biggest risks of thunderstorm development will be on Wednesday. So we are looking at a bigger risk of some strong to severe storms on Wednesday. So I'll highlight that a little bit more in the next half hour. Thursday's dry, mix of sun and clouds, 78, and then our Memorial Day weekend is looking pretty wet, at least the beginning of it. Friday is wet. Saturday, we're going to have showers. It'll be a little cooler as well at 68. And then Sunday looks good to get outside, mostly sunny at 73.
It's a good experience seeing kids find out about themselves.
We're learning more about an effort to get kids active again and teach them about teamwork.
And we've already had some hot weather, and staying cool could be harder this summer. Why air conditioners could be hard to come by. There's a shortage of air conditioner units, another thing you can blame on the pandemic. And if you can find an AC unit, you'll be paying more for it. Companies that sell ACs and HVAC units are calling the manufacturer before they sell the unit just to make sure it's in stock. The pandemic forced a lot of companies to close last year, and this year the price of aluminum and plastic is on the rise as well.
Right now I'm afraid that we're going to, air conditioning units and parts are going to be like toilet paper and paper towels for last year.
Experts say it's a good idea to check your unit and get it tuned up. Otherwise, you might be waiting for a while for a new AC.
A win for the ages at the PGA Championship in South Carolina.
Biggest moment of a legendary career. Phil defeats Father Time.
At 50 years old, Phil Mickelson became the oldest golfer in history to win a major, shooting a 6 under to claim the trophy. After the win, Mickelson said there's no reason why you can't accomplish your goals at an older age. It just takes a little more work.
And in case you missed it, you're going to want to see it. Another historic achievement for U.S. gymnast Simone Biles. I mean, check this out. She landed a move so difficult, so dangerous, that few people have even ever dared to try it. It's called the Yurchenko double pike. Look at that. And while Biles makes it look super easy, flawless, it's absolutely not. It involves a back handspring followed by 2 backflips, and Biles appears just like that to be ready for Tokyo.
I was just thinking, do it like training. Don't try to like overdo anything, because I have a tendency as soon as I raise my hand to kind of overpower things. And I did a little bit, but at least I still was on my feet. It's a new vault, and I'm proud of how today went.
No kidding, she should be. Biles has not competed in 18 months, but she is back in action.
Awfully impressive. The race to vaccinate is well underway.
But not everybody is on board, even with incentives. The big issue is stopping people from getting their shots.
Plus, still to come, I'm going to let you know why we're in this busy weather pattern where we're seeing this rain and stormy weather, and what weather elements we're going to be watching out for the middle of the week.
A fast and heavy downpour causing flash flooding. Look at this. This Channel 11 viewer photo shows high water on Ellsworth Avenue in Shadyside. 3 cars were flooded. The rain came down so fast, the sewer drains just couldn't handle all that water. This was right outside of Winchester Thurston School. The water went down as fast as it rose this morning. The school did have some flooding in the basement.
And a viewer shared this video from Squirrel Hill, and of course, you really shouldn't be driving in water this high. And take a look at this. A car stranded in high water in Shaler Township. The woman behind the wheel had to be rescued when she realized she wasn't going to make it to higher ground on Seaview Road. And more heavy rain is expected today.
Let's head back to meteorologist Danielle Dozier tracking the rain in Severe Weather Center 11.
Yeah, guys, we always say turn around, don't drown, because you really never know how deep that water is on the area roads when we do have these torrential downpours. We do not have any torrential rain here in the city right now as we take a live look over the downtown area. It's cloudy, though, so these low clouds are limiting visibility. 7-mile visibility currently in Pittsburgh, and all the area you see here in gray and white is where we do have limited visibility. Make sure you have your low beams on if you're heading out, or at least your headlights anytime it is raining. We've got a 2.5-mile visibility currently in Indiana. Want to show you our live storm tracker Doppler 11 radar. The showers are continuing to push out of Pittsburgh and to the south and east through Westmoreland County here right now. So we've got some pockets of moderate to heavy rain showing up south of the Greensburg area. Those will continue to push into northern Fayette County, and ultimately these will wind down as we head over the next hour to 2 hours. But I do expect additional development to take place later on this afternoon. So scattered showers and storms are still in the picture for late day and evening. So if you're out walking your dog, stay alert to changing weather conditions. The temperatures are going to be in the mid-70s here today. So warm, humid, and stormy. That's the theme for today. Tomorrow, it's going to be hot. I'm going to let you know how hot, and still to come, a look at those weather elements we're going to be facing with thunderstorms on Wednesday.
Hey, thank you. A TikTok video announcing a birthday party in California ballooned into massive gatherings over the weekend. It happened in Huntington Beach, where police had to break up a third night of partying. Police declared an unlawful assembly before breaking up the crowd of young adults. Most of the crowd was maskless. California has extended its mask mandate into next month. And as crowds of young adults gather for events like that, concerns over the safety of coronavirus vaccines are still leading people to question when and if they'll even get the vaccine. 11 Investigates reporter Aaron Martin found out if full FDA approval would make a difference for those set against it.
I'm just determined to really wait and see what happens with the FDA approval process.
There's been such a rush to inject as many people as possible with this COVID shot. People have valid safety concerns with this.
These women come from different backgrounds in different parts of Pennsylvania, but they're each resisting the COVID-19 vaccine and have no plans to get it anytime soon.
I think everyone should stop and just question and ask, when is it going to be right for them?
More than half of Pennsylvanians 18 and older are now fully vaccinated. Governor Tom Wolf says that number will need to reach 70% before he removes the Commonwealth's mask mandate.
We need a much more substantial amount of the population to have immunity in one form or another. Vaccine is simply just the easiest and best way to get that.
UPMC Chief Medical Officer Dr. Don Yealy says public campaigns and education are key to getting more people vaccinated. But he admits it will be an uphill climb and some people may not come around.
For whatever reason, some people either need a little more convincing, and we want to do that, and some people just don't believe in the vaccines. We'd like to be able to shift more and more of that.
That convincing won't come easy. Chippewa parent Diana Campbell has concerns over the safety and speed of the vaccine's development. She knows not getting vaccinated is a decision many won't agree with, but it's one she hopes they will eventually respect.
Everybody needs to assess the risk and benefit to both sides and be a little bit more compassionate and understanding as to why people do not want this product.
Now, the Pennsylvania Department of Health wants those who are already vaccinated to encourage others to get the shot as well. The question is, how effective will that strategy truly be? Something we should know in the near future. Reporting from Mount Washington, Aaron Martin, Channel 11 News.
Some are also questioning the need for COVID testing after the CDC updates its mask guidance for fully vaccinated people. You can still get the virus if you are fully vaccinated, but the risk of serious illness is low. Some leading health experts now believe positive test results will lead to unnecessary worry and interruptions at work, home, and school. Close to 1 million COVID tests are done each day in the United States. People can now buy 15-minute over-the-counter tests at pharmacies as well.
You'll have the chance to learn more about the next generation of public transit in Allegheny County. The Port Authority is hosting 2 more public hearings. There was one this morning, I should say, and the second one is being held online at 1:30 this afternoon. There's also one tomorrow night at 5:30. They'll be talking about a number of proposed projects and looking for input. The Port Authority says a draft report will be coming out this summer, and a final report is set to be presented in the fall. Is your credit score not where you want it to be? Our consumer advisor explains how you can repair it in just weeks.
It's a good experience seeing kids find out about themselves.
And we're learning more about an effort to get kids active again and teach them all about teamwork.
Learn team play, friendship, camaraderie. So I have never really seen a negative aspect.
A local group is helping get kids active again after quarantine and online classes. They're learning some life lessons. It's a place where kids can take up a new hobby that could have a lasting impact.
Channel 11's Lori Hoy talked to one of the brothers who came up with this idea.
From the road, you wouldn't know this park is here. It's nestled in the woods in Crafton. But with COVID restrictions loosening, it's now a place for kids to get off their electronics and learn life lessons. Come on! It's a video game experience in real life. This is the Pittsburgh Paintball Park, but it's more than just paintball.
Those guys in the castle have to rescue this body.
Paintball is for everybody, but right now we need the kids to be more active. It's something that they don't do like we did when we were growing up.
Energy is one of the founders of Command Bros. He's a combat referee on the weekends during open play that is for kids 8 years and up. His mission is to get kids here and off their gaming consoles.
This is a great way for them to come out, get some fresh air, move their body around without actually telling them to do so.
Energy says in addition to the exercise, children also learn life skills from paintball games.
It's a good experience seeing kids find out about themselves and give them the opportunity to have a good time and, learn team play, friendship, camaraderie. So I have never really seen a negative aspect outside the initial first hit.
Nice shooting, Tex.
The initial first hit is a shocker.
If you can take the shots, go right on ahead.
This is also an important lesson about gun safety.
And then they're loaded into here.
For kids and adults.
I tell people, if you're going to purchase a gun, go paintball first. Because it's the same safeties on a paintball gun it is on a real gun.
There is a fee to play, plus there's the necessary gear, but these ballers say it's worth it.
I've been playing this for over 20 years, and the thing I've learned the most is the friendships and the people are a brotherhood, and we're all brothers because we all come back to the game we love.
A Command Bros war game is set for next month for kids who are entry-level and intermediate players.
But now that, summertime's back, they're lifting a lot of these restrictions. We need to start motivating the kids to go do something.
That war game is scheduled for June 26th at TRP in Cranberry. From Crafton, Lori Hoy, Channel 11 News.
Still to come, what's causing our unsettled weather this week? Plus, we'll take a look at just how hot it gets in your neighborhood tomorrow and what you can expect for the Memorial Day weekend.
Everyone is awesome at Lego. The toy maker's newest minifigures making a major statement on diversity. With Lego debuting the LGBTQ+ themed Everyone is Awesome building set for Pride Month. It goes on sale June 1st. And here's a question for you. Are you planning to buy a house or take out a loan, but your credit isn't where you want it to be? Our consumer advisor, Clark Howard, explains how you could change that in just weeks.
So your credit score isn't quite where you want it to be to, let's say, apply for a mortgage or an auto loan or to get a new credit card. So what do? Believe it or not, you may be able to have a big impact on your credit score in just weeks, no more than 6. And all you got to do is pay down the balances on your credit cards as quick as you possibly can. because nearly a third of what makes up your credit score is how much of your available credit you're using. Just so you know, the average consumer uses about 20% of their available credit on credit cards, but you use more than 30, your score starts going down. You use more than 50, your credit score collapses. So pay down those balances. The more you do, the higher your score can go up. I'm Clark Howard.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Welcome back into weather. Taking a live look here at our Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. We have cleared out the rain here in Pittsburgh temporarily. I do expect more showers and thunderstorms to develop late this afternoon and into the evening. Take a look here where we do have some heavier rainfall that's falling here in southern Westmoreland County, eventually passing here into northern Fayette County around the Bullskin area. Greensburg, you've had some wet weather move through. It is clearing out of your area. Also notice here we do have some pop-up heavy showers that are pushing through Washington County, just north and east of the city of Washington. Those continue to push toward the southeast. Right now, I'm not tracking any lightning, but that is a threat out of any thunderstorm today. Currently, it's 69 in Pittsburgh. It's a warmer 74 in Washington, 67 up in Butler. It is sticky feeling out there today, isn't it? It's going to remain humid for the remainder of the afternoon. It's going to be a warm day, too. Temperatures in the mid-70s despite the cloud cover. Outside of any storms, west winds will blow right around 3 to 6 miles per hour. So lightning will be a threat for today out of any additional showers or thunderstorms that develop. Heavier downpours and localized flooding will also be threats. For tonight, we will clear out the storms. Overnight tonight, it's mostly cloudy. We're down in the mid-60s into your Tuesday morning, and it's going to be the start of a very hot day. Our forecast high is up to 87. We had 87 over the weekend, which was the warmest since September 10th, by the way. Southwest winds right around 5 to 15 miles per hour. We could have occasional breezes to 20 miles per hour. So hot and breezy tomorrow, and we're looking at a humid day, that is, the humidity picking up. 86 in Beaver, 86 in Washington, 87 in Uniontown. I'll show you that humidity forecast in just a minute. Here's a look at our storm tracker maps for the remainder of the day. Again, some pop-up showers or embedded thunderstorms over the next few hours, but the coverage begins to pick up, it looks like, once we head into late day and evening, once again with scattered showers and embedded thunderstorms. Overnight, it's dry for your Tuesday morning the way it stands right now. A mix of sun and clouds throughout the afternoon. I do expect a chance for a pop-up shower or thunderstorm once again Tuesday afternoon, even though this model doesn't show a whole lot. We'll carry that forecast as we have a little bit of a change happening in our weather pattern. This is what I'm talking about. So we've been dealing with this high pressure ridge that has been right centered over Michigan and Indiana. That will gradually push to the east as we head into Tuesday. So it'll be centered over our region, which means, yeah, that's why our temperatures are going up Tuesday. And then we get these little weather disturbances that still lead to these chances for showers and storms. Humidity wise, we are looking at it still staying pretty humid though Tuesday and Wednesday, but some drier air comes in Thursday. I am expecting a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms by Wednesday. Right now, it looks like damaging wind gusts would be the primary severe weather threat, although we wouldn't be able to rule out completely some hail on Wednesday. But we'll keep a close eye on that with your forecast there. Dry Thursday at 78, rain Friday, and cooler at 69. Your holiday weekend looks best on Sunday with a high of 73.
Hey, everybody. Have you noticed how many blogs and interviews and reports and case studies there are about how to get a better night's sleep and how important a good night's sleep is, right? How many times do you wake up in the morning and think, oh my gosh, I am exhausted from tossing and turning? Well, wouldn't it be great if there was something you could put on your bed that would actually help you sleep better? Wait, there is. This is Miracle Brand, and it is an amazing concept because they have found a way to naturally make sheets that help thermoregulate your body, meaning they help keep your body temperature consistent through the night so you're not waking up going, oh my gosh, I'm so hot I can't sleep. The sheets are naturally thermoregulating. How did they do that? Because they use what I call the super secret silver ingredient. You can't see it, you can't feel it, but there's actually silver in those sheets. Beautiful luxury sheets that feel so good on the bed, but the silver in them actually helps regulate your body temperature all night long. You don't have to do any extra work. Speaking of work, you do a lot less work with these because that silver actually inhibits 99.9% of the bacteria growth in your sheets and towels as well. So you do 3 times less laundry. Oh my gosh. You're sleeping better at night because you're not worrying about the bacteria and you're not overheating. You have fabulous towels that you're doing laundry on 3 times less, and you get all the best. So right now on localsteals.com, all these great ideas are 31 to 55% off. If I can sleep better, if I can have fabulous luxury sheets, if I can have gorgeous luxury towels, if I can do 3 times less laundry and save money, oh my gosh, count me in. A better night's sleep makes every day better, and this is one of the easiest ways to get it.
Gas prices continue to climb. The national average price jumped more than 8 cents a gallon in the past 2 weeks to $3.10. That's $1 higher than a year ago. But there might be some good news around the corner. Gas prices have stabilized after the ransomware attack that shut down the nation's biggest pipeline. And some analysts say there's a good chance that gasoline prices could be near a peak. Locally, we're paying $3.18 a gallon in Allegheny County and $3.19 in Fayette County.
I mean, a miracle.
Joseph Pace of Ross Township is likely one of the longest survivors of a heart transplant in the country. He had his done 29 years ago at Allegheny General Hospital, and his success story makes us proud to be from Pittsburgh. Joseph turned 85 last week, and he still goes to the gym 3 days a week to walk a mile and lift weights. You can see from these pictures that he has been pretty active since his heart transplant in 1992. His surgeon says most people live 10 years after a heart transplant, but Joseph's body never rejected his heart, which is also very rare. Dr. George McGovern says 95% of them do.
If someone could figure out why Mr. Pate never rejected his heart, I mean, that's a Nobel Prize in waiting.
Take your medication as prescribed. Keep your doctor's appointments. Show up for your test.
Got to listen to that advice. He knows. That's what Joe thinks has helped him stay healthy after all of these years. And we have a request from Joe. He's asking everyone to sign up to be an organ donor.
That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5.
Have an incredible day.